Having just secured his 9th consecutive championship, Kobe could not wait to return to the Cleveland he had longed for. For this day, he and the fans of the city had waited a full 4 years. During the 4 years away from Cleveland, Kobe dominated with an absolute grip, sweeping all 4 championship trophies. As a result, almost all media outlets spontaneously bestowed upon him the title of the greatest of all time. However, surprisingly, Kobe refused to accept this honor that many would kill for. He believed that the 4 championships during the Heat era were not solely his achievement. Riley orchestrated the strategy, while Wade and Bosh led the charge. He felt that if he were replaced by Anthony or Durant, the Heat would still have won 4 straight titles. Even regarding the 5 championships during his Cavaliers tenure, he refused to take all the credit, acknowledging that Gilbert's substantial investments, as well as the sweat and blood shed by teammates like Ilgauskas, West, Bergeron, Williams, and others, were equally indispensable. Therefore, upon returning to the Cavaliers, he had no intention of resting on his laurels. Instead, by switching to the number 24 jersey, he signaled his determination to set sail anew. As for why he chose number 24 as his new number, Kobe explained that it represented his full commitment for all 24 hours of the day. However, many also believed it signified his desire to surpass Jordan completely as a Cavaliers player. Of course, although Kobe was fully prepared to work hard and fight through challenges, there was one person who would never allow him to be left in a helpless situation: Gilbert. To welcome Kobe's return, Gilbert once again fell into his old habit of spending lavishly. He spared no expense in trading the 2014 number 1 pick Wiggins, the 2013 number 1 pick Bennett, and a protected first-round pick to the Timberwolves in exchange for the new Wolf King, Love. Such boundless indulgence deeply moved Kobe, but also left him feeling helpless. It seemed that this blissful trouble was impossible to shake off. Now, looking at Kobe's team roster and comparing it with the lineup configuration of the 36-year-old James Lakers, it's really hard not to use the word idiotic to describe the Lakers management's terrible operations. A good lineup naturally leads to good results. So even with Love missing nearly a month due to injury, the Cavaliers still relied on Kobe and Irving, who ranked 2nd and 3rd on the scoring list respectively with their elite scoring ability, to blast their way to a 66-win record, matching the Pacers and placing 2nd in the East. The Lakers, however, could only manage a dismal 28 wins, finishing 12th in the West. As a result, Kobe was named MVP, selected to the All-NBA First Team and All-Defensive First Team. Irving made the All-NBA Second Team, and Love made the Third Team, but for the first time in his career, James was left out of all individual honors. The fickle and ruthless demeanor of the media truly makes one feel indignant for James. I sincerely hope the Lakers can treat the aging James better. Perhaps it's time for the Lakers to start planning early for things like a farewell tour. Getting back to the point, after a full season of chemistry building, the Cavaliers' tactical coordination was already very cohesive, and their chemistry was well developed. Therefore, the Chicago Bulls, whose lineup configuration was clearly at a disadvantage from the start, could only hold on for 5 games before being eliminated. After all, if it were just the Cavaliers' Big Three going off, they could barely manage to compete and respond. But the Cavaliers' role players consistently stepped up as well. Smith, Shumpert, Miller, and Bergeron all delivered impactful performances from time to time. Moreover, their roster also included a versatile and reliable veteran like Marion, who excelled both offensively and defensively, and could be plugged in and contribute immediately like a microwave. Facing such a lineup with virtually no weaknesses, the team least feared is one that relies on collective effort but has no clear strengths, such as the Hawks, ranked 3rd in the East. Although every player on the Hawks had the ability to contribute, it was also likely that each of them could be neutralized and shut down. So, after just 5 games of competition, the outcome between the two sides was already determined. The Cavaliers' performance still revolved around the Big Three, with role players providing supplementary support. It was best when role players stepped up, but even when they did not, it did not prevent the Cavaliers from returning to the Eastern Conference Finals after a 4-year hiatus. This time, their opponent was the Indiana Pacers, a team Kobe faced for the first time in his playoff career. The Pacers' roster featured George and Hibbert, 2 rising superstars in the league. Hibbert's exceptional rim protection, in particular, served as the Pacers' strongest defensive anchor. Even the formidable Kobe was denied at the rim on his first attempt. And with George's equally airtight perimeter defense, Kobe was unusually flustered and rattled. George, on the other hand, opened the scoring with a silky smooth mid-range jumper. A fiercely competitive player, like Kobe, could not endure such humiliation without retaliation, so he locked horns with George for the entire game. However, the Pacers had already laid a trap for Kobe, and George's tenacity far exceeded his expectations. Facing Kobe's aggressive and explosive drives, George held his ground despite being knocked off balance, gritting his teeth and refusing to yield. With Hibbert's timely help defense, Kobe's powerful attacks were repeatedly thwarted. Shots that he usually made with ease clanked off the rim one after another, and the gap widened as the two sides traded blows on both ends of the floor. In the end, unexpectedly yet understandably, Kobe's team suffered a rare Game 1 loss. George shot 5 for 21, Kobe shot 6 for 23, and the two best small forwards in the Eastern Conference failed to engage in an offensive shootout. Instead, they locked each other down with relentless, suffocating defense for the entire game. At the start of Game 2, George and Kobe picked up right where they left off, bringing the same tenacious defense from Game 1, and both missed their first attempts. But when the Pacers' towering Hibbert fiercely overpowered Kobe and Irving under the basket to score the first points, it seemed to ignite a powder keg. Kobe, George, and Irving simultaneously unleashed their pent-up fury. Precision three-pointers, intense physical battles, intricate inside-outside coordination, and formidable rim protection created a dazzling display of offensive and defensive highlights. George, even with a sore left knee, refused to back down and went shot for shot with Kobe, making it impossible not to marvel at the promising future of the next generation. These young players who idolize Kobe are all capable on both ends of the floor, fearless in their attacks and relentless in their defense. They take on the toughest scorers and challenge the best defenders, completely shedding the old-school tendency of some previous players who bullied the weak and feared the strong. After a full game of intense battle, the Pacers fell to the Cavaliers by 3 points, bringing both teams back to square one. Although George's individual performance was slightly inferior to Kobe's, the fact that he could trade blows with Kobe was already a remarkable achievement in itself. It was clear that only by giving their full effort could the Cavaliers have a greater chance of securing the win. In Game 3, the Pacers and Cavaliers once again found themselves locked in a tightly contested battle. Although George was clearly outmatched in his offensive duel with Kobe, the Pacers were only trailing the Cavaliers by 5 points with 2 minutes and 30 seconds remaining in the game. So, who would have the last laugh? Let's take a look.
On the perimeter, Irving hits it.
Assisted by Kobe, his touch is incredibly steady, and he is instrumental in keeping them ahead late in the game.
Now George has the ball. He matches up against Kobe once again.
He makes the first free throw, cutting the deficit to 6 points.
He sinks the second one too. He is calm and composed at the charity stripe. The gap is now within a single possession.
Irving catches it on the perimeter. Rises up over Hill, but the shot doesn't fall.
Now George has the ball. George is dueling with Kobe throughout the entire game.
George kicks it back to Hill. 6 seconds left. George gets it again.
Rises over Kobe, and Indiana misses once more. Motzko grabs the rebound.
Kobe feeds it inside, and Irving throws it down hard through the rim like a bomb.
Playing alongside his idol and executing that kind of connection feels absolutely amazing. Now George has the ball, and he is being smothered defensively. Kobe's defense is causing massive trouble for George. George's movement is completely forced out of shape under pressure, and the referees are allowing this physical play.
Smith is on the perimeter.
Kobe comes out to receive. Love gets the ball, sends it back to Kobe, who is being guarded by Hill. Kobe forces up a three, and he drills it. A clutch triple from Kobe.
With Kobe's deadly three-pointer hitting the mark, the outcome of the game was sealed. All 5 starters of the Cavaliers scored in double digits, showing the Pacers what true team-wide contributions look like. Entering Game 4, the Cavaliers had already secured a significant psychological advantage. Kobe exploited George's instability and ball handling to great effect, using provocation to lure George into isolation plays, while repeatedly stifling his offense with tough defense. This greatly reduced the Pacers' offensive efficiency. Meanwhile, Love, Irving, and Kobe of the Cavaliers, with their unique chemistry, perfectly orchestrated a symphony where each played his distinct role. Love's playmaking and three-point shooting, Irving's agility and sharpness, and Kobe's resilience without recklessness, composure without losing elegance and power, all left the Pacers' defense scrambling and helpless. Ultimately, with a decisive 17-point victory, the Cavaliers won 3 consecutive games and seized the match point first. They proved with their performance that in the East, they remained the undisputed absolute kings. However, the Cavaliers were still too young, and their tendency to be overconfident and underestimate opponents nearly cost them dearly. In Game 5, they lost by 6 points. Irving not only failed to defend Hill, but also played poorly himself. In Game 6, they suffered a heavy home defeat, allowing the Pacers to drag them from a 3-1 lead into a do-or-die Game 7. But it was precisely this game that fully awakened the fierce genes deeply embedded in the Cavaliers' core, going beyond the glamour and nobility inherent to being a powerhouse franchise, And this was exactly the mental state Kobe most wanted them to achieve before the finals. Because the newly emerged strong team from the West, which had consecutively defeated the Spurs, Thunder, and Nuggets, had already reminded him of the early rise of the Cavaliers. He knew deep down that this final series would be an epic battle for the ages. As Game 1 tipped off, the Cavaliers quickly found their rhythm, with Kobe and Irving alternating attacks on the Warriors' paint. After the baptism of the Eastern Conference Finals, Irving's transformation was immediate. His game was now infused with shades of Kobe, especially his increasingly tough defense. After stopping Curry's three-point attempt, he delivered a brilliant pass to Kobe, who threw down a powerful dunk to open the scoring. On the next possession, Kobe stole the ball from Thompson and raced down the court for another ferocious dunk, forcing the Warriors to call timeout. What was unexpected was that after the timeout, although the Warriors regained their offensive touch, they were struggling on the defensive end. Irving was on an absolute tear, hitting everything from three-pointers to two-pointers with seemingly no effort, catching the Warriors off guard. They had no choice but to swarm Irving with heavy defensive attention. However, Irving and Kobe were like two equally lethal poisons. No matter which one the Warriors chose to guard against, they would inevitably have to swallow the other. Unfortunately for them, as the game progressed, they even lost the luxury of choice. After Irving lost his hot hand, Kobe quickly took over the game, almost single-handedly dictating its flow. He completely shut down Barnes, the North Carolina Eagle, while amassing a monstrous 46 points, 12 rebounds, and 10 assists himself, leading the Cavaliers to an 18-point blowout victory over the Warriors and securing Game 1 of the finals. The Splash Brothers' combined 56 points went in vain. This game greatly boosted the Cavaliers' morale, as they had rarely pushed Kobe to go all out throughout the entire season. So in Game 2, they displayed unwavering confidence from the very tip-off. Kobe, Smith, and Irving launched a combined offensive barrage, and every shot they took was well within the flow of the offense. Despite having the ability to overpower their opponents, they chose the most sensible approach of winning through skill and teamwork. For 2 consecutive games, the Warriors failed to find a defensive scheme that could truly contain the Cavaliers. After another 16-point loss, the Warriors were completely backed into a corner, and abandoning their conventional game plan became their only option out of desperation. Returning home, the Warriors tried to attack the Cavaliers' relatively weaker interior defense. This unorthodox approach finally paid off, yielding unexpected results. Green, in particular, made all his seemingly ill-advised shots, as if the Warriors had regained that magical power that allowed them to dominate wherever they went. Although such a victory was not sustainable, survival was the top priority for the Warriors at that moment. As for how to approach Game 4, their only true hope had always been their number 30, the king of the Bay Area, Curry. As the soul of Golden State's rise, Curry may have a baby face, but throughout his journey, he has proven his toughness countless times. He may not have bulging muscles, but he has an incredibly strong heart. He may not have explosive leaping ability, but he possesses the courage to take responsibility. He may not have lightning fast breaks, but he has the clutch determination to never shy away from tough shots. After being quiet for 2 games, Curry erupted. With just over 3 minutes remaining in the game, the Warriors lead the Cavaliers by double digits. Can the Cavaliers stage a comeback? Let's wait and see.
On the right side, Kobe, facing Barnes, takes the shot. Bogut grabs the rebound, passes it to Thompson. The ball goes back to Barnes. Only 4 seconds left on the shot clock. Curry, guarded by Irving, makes a smooth move.
They rely on his offense all game, and he barely wastes any opportunities. Pass to the inside.
Moskov jumps and scores an easy layup. Curry catches it on the perimeter, pulls up for 3.
They score a lot of points from beyond the arc. Kobe holds the ball on the perimeter. Kobe scores.
The referee calls a foul on the defender. This is a great chance for a 3-point play.
Curry sinks another 3-pointer. He accounts for the majority of the team's points and is the key reason the Warriors are leading.
Irving misses the shot, and the ball goes to Bogut.
The Warriors score again. Beautiful pass. It is his pass that allows his teammate to finish the play.
Kobe holds the ball on the perimeter. The referee blows the whistle, blocking foul.
It seemed like just a brief moment when the balance of victory quietly tilted toward the Warriors. Curry, with an incredible 3-point shooting display, set a finals 3-point record while leading the Warriors and Cavaliers back to a level playing field, shifting the pressure back onto the Cavaliers. This forced Kobe to switch into his offensive mode early in the pivotal Game 5. Unfortunately, even a player as formidable as Kobe can have off nights in terms of shooting. Luckily, Kobe's offense didn't require the big men to come up for picks, so despite Kobe missing 2 consecutive mid-range jumpers, the Cavaliers center Moskov fiercely grabbed the offensive rebounds both times. It seems that the center alongside Kobe always manages to dominate the boards. As the saying goes, once or twice is forgivable, but not a third or fourth time. By his third offensive possession, Kobe switched from shooting to driving, quickly regaining his touch. To add to the joy, both Irving and Love, on such a grand stage, showed not a trace of nervousness. Instead, they played with boldness and toughness. While the Warriors were still struggling to find their shooting touch, the Cavaliers, benefiting from the simultaneous eruption of their big three, instantly unleashed a wave of offensive firepower, leading the Warriors by 13 points by the end of the first quarter alone. No matter how tenaciously the Warriors fought back, they could never shrink the deficit, and what was originally a highly anticipated showdown turned into a one-sided rout by the Cavaliers. In this game, Love exploded for 34 points and 16 rebounds, emphatically silencing the incessantly chattering Green. Kobe tied Horry's finals single-game steals record with 7 steals, pushing the Warriors to the brink. This time, a complete dead end. Fortunately for the Warriors, Game 6 was at home. They always managed to produce some magical performances at Oracle Arena, where countless teams had been cut down by the trio of Curry, Thompson, and Green. The fans there firmly believed this would once again be their special night, but the Cavaliers were a championship-caliber team with a depth of winning pedigree that few teams could match. By the end of the first quarter, the Cavaliers had taken the lead over the Warriors. With just over 5 minutes remaining, the game had reached a white-hot intensity. In the heat of the battle, Irving and Love made pivotal contributions in succession, one on offense and one on defense, helping the Cavaliers maintain their aggressive advantage. Then Mozgov, with sheer physicality, drove straight to the basket, earning free throw opportunities for the Cavaliers. During the free throw break, Kobe checked back in, and the game officially entered its decisive phase. Once on the court, Kobe immediately bared his sharp and deadly fangs like a black mamba. He first shook off Barnes with off-ball movement, drilling a three-pointer with precision. On the next possession, he switched to a crafty drive, attacking the basket with force, forcing the Warriors to resort to a foul tactic and sending him to the free throw line.
Kobe ramps up his attack in the second half. The Warriors must watch out.
He makes both free throws. Thompson on the perimeter. Perimeter shot. Scores from beyond the three-point line.
Thompson finally finds his range. Hopefully he stays hot.
Kobe shakes off Barnes' defense.
Kobe throws down a powerful dunk. A ferocious dunk. A flash of young Kobe's skywalking style.
Curry on the perimeter. Irving on him.
The ball goes to Bogut. Only 3 seconds left. Back to Curry. Three-pointer. Mozgov boards it.
A tough shot by Curry. The Warriors must cut down these forced looks.
Kobe with the ball. He kicks it out to Love for 3.
Rebounded by the Warriors. On the perimeter, Curry.
Inside-out pass. Bogut catches and flushes it. All in one motion. A perfect dish for an easy bucket inside.
The Cavs can slow it down now. No need to rush.
Kobe to Smith for 3. Bangs it in. Assisted by Kobe.
The Warriors are in a very dangerous position now. They need a quick bucket.
On the perimeter, Curry for a three-pointer.
Curry's touch is off today, but he must take over. That is a leader's job.
Kobe from deep? No good either. Warriors dodge a bullet. They're still in this.
Pass to Thompson, stolen by Smith.
That turnover is absolutely fatal. The Warriors are in trouble.
Now Kobe has the ball, facing Barnes' defense. Irving shakes Curry for 3. Bricks it. A three-pointer. A total bombshell.
With Irving's crucial three-pointer perfectly sinking through the net, the Cavaliers completely sealed the game's suspense. After 6 hard-fought battles, and a full 5 years later, the Cavaliers once again became NBA champions. With 6 championships in their history, the Cavaliers have officially established themselves as a top-tier NBA powerhouse, tying with the Bulls for 3rd place on the all-time NBA championship list. With such a strong roster, the Cavaliers' goals are clearly not limited to this, but the Warriors' rise knows no bounds, especially with Curry possessing elite skills and determination. So, next season, can the Cavaliers claim sole possession of 3rd place on the championship rankings? And can Kobe surpass Jordan as a Cavaliers player? Guys, to know what happens next, stay tuned for the next chapter.